My Level 2 Biomechanics video, Analysing a Skill in Volleyball by Kees Ursem. There are 3 stages of learning: cognitive, which is at a beginner level; associative, which is working at an intermediate level; and autonomous, which is working at an advanced level. The 3 biomechanic principles that I'm using to analyse a skill of passing are force summation, projectile motion, and balance and stability. The principle of force summation is using the correct sequence of muscles to achieve a skill. This is achieved by using the stronger and larger muscles first and finishing off the skill using weaker and more precise muscles to finish off the movement. The principle of projectile motion is the path travelled by an object in the air and is influenced from the 3 factors: the angle of release, the speed of release, and how gravity acts on the object. These factors will have an impact on the maximum distance an object flies in the air, as each factor, when changed, will have a slightly impact on the path the object will travel. Balance and stability is the ability to remain stable while doing an exercise. This relies on 3 important factors, which is your centre of gravity, your line of gravity, and your base of support. The centre of gravity on a person is located at a point where the mass is evenly distributed. The line of gravity runs vertically from the point of the centre of gravity, and the base of support is the amount of area the body is in contact with the ground. The larger the base of support, the more stable a person is. The volleyball skill I'm using is passing/digging a volleyball. In my pre-test, I was working at an autonomous level. This means that the skill of passing and the other skills in volleyball come automatic and naturally for me. These are my pre-test videos of me passing a volleyball. From this, I can break down the skill of passing a volleyball into 4 categories. Number 1 is locating where the ball is going. Number 2 is quickly moving to where the ball is going. Number 3 is setting a solid base for the pass and making contact with the ball. And number 4 is the follow through. Using the principle of force summation, in the first and second category, I am locating and moving towards the ball. My legs are slightly fixed at the knee joint and are slowly flexing. This is the hamstring constricting, meaning that the hamstring is the agonist muscle. And this means the quadricep is extending, meaning it is the antagonist muscle. My arms are slightly fixed at the elbow joint, which is the bicep brachii, is the agonist, and the tricep brachii, the antagonist. My arm is going from flexed to extended, which means the tricep brachii becomes the agonist and the bicep brachii becomes the antagonist. In the third and fourth category, I am making contact with the ball and in the follow through step. My legs are going from nearly extended to fully extended. This is how you control the power of the ball, as the more you extend your legs, the more power in the ball, and vice versa. The quadricep, when the knee is bent, is the antagonist muscle, and the hamstring is the agonist muscle. My arms are fully extended. This is so there is a flat platform for the ball to bounce off. My arms are fully extended, which means my bicep brachii is the antagonist muscle and my tricep brachii is the agonist. My shoulders are raised from being by my sides to being perpendicular with my body. This is my deltoids being the agonist muscle and my pectoralis major being the antagonist muscle. When analysing balance and stability from my pre-test video, in this photo when I'm lining up the ball and getting in position to pass, the red drawings show my base of support, the green dot is my centre of gravity, and the blue line is my line of gravity. As you can see in the photo above, I am stable. Most of my weight is sitting on my back left leg and my right front leg is assisting by balancing. The centre of gravity point is in a strong position as it is in my waistline. My line of gravity goes down my core in between my front and back leg, which means that I am in a strong position, which helps because in volleyball, if I have a strong base of support, then I'm more likely to successfully complete a pass, as I just need to focus on getting the contact with the ball. In the photo above, my legs are wide apart and are bent, which means that I am in a very stable position, and if someone was to push me over, I'll be able to resist a large force because of how stable this position is. This is helpful to get into this position, as in volleyball it is important to have a sturdy base of support. In the photo above, I am more upright, which means I'm in a less stable position than earlier, but I am moving, which means this is a dynamic balance. My centre of gravity is in my waistline, but because my body is more upright, it is in a higher position than before. My line of gravity is equal to before, as it goes through my core and my front and back leg. My base of support is smaller, as my feet are closer together, but when my body is moving forward, this assists my balance and makes me stable as I'm taking a step forward. The factor of angle of release is important, as if you make contact with the ball at different angles, this will affect the height of the ball, and if it goes too flat, then it will be hard for the setter to control. This varies on the angle of your arms, as if your arms are perpendicular with the body, so horizontal to the ground, the ball will go vertical, but wouldn't go enough distance forward. And if you make contact when your arms are vertical to the ground, then the ball will bounce off in a flat arc, which would be hard on the setter. So you need to hit that right spot on your arms so the ball will follow a high arc in the direction you want it to land. Another factor is controlling the speed of release. This is important in volleyball because controlling a spike or serve using a pass is important, as you use your arms to take the impact off the ball and use your legs to put enough power on the ball to put it on the setter's head. You control this by extending or flexing at the knee joint. The more initial speed an object has, the further the object will go. In the volleyball pass, you have to factor in the speed you put on the ball, as the more speed you put on the ball, the further the ball will go. When comparing my pre-test video to my post-test video, the results are pretty even, except on my second pre-test video, I noticed that I made contact with the ball at an awkward angle, which may have affected the angle of release. Other than that, I improved on consistency, since the videos were taken about a month apart, as in that time I would have had more repetitions passing the volleyball around. The type of practice that I used was mass practice. This was playing king of the court in games and teams, and getting repetitions of touches and passing a volleyball, which over time got me to improve all schools in volleyball. And because my class was at a high level of performance, we could have decent 6-on-6 games, which made the level of mass practice at a very high quality. The facilities had an impact on me, as Ura College is set up for volleyball, as we have 2 available gymnasiums, multiple nets, and have all the equipment to play with, which helped me and myself and my class in volleyball, as we had to focus on what was just volleyball and not the equipment. Competition was another factor that affected my skill learning, as in my class there were many current and past volleyball players, and we could set up a proper competitive game of 6-on-6 or have decent games of king of the court, which made our level of learning at a high level, as we're exposed to very good players. The sports physiology of visualization was important, as I could watch professionals do crazy passes in volleyball, and I could copy the steps they took and attempt these crazy passes. The sports physiology of routines is when passing, I would go through the same fundamentals before someone served the ball or spiked the ball at me, and I would try and make it the same as a perfect pass every time. This helped to achieve consistency, as if I did the same thing every time and it worked, why not stay with the same routine? The last sports physiology I used was confidence. I used confidence to back myself in situations. This meant like coming up against an easy or hard player, I wouldn't hold back, which meant that I could improve on that skill. It also had an effect on the people around me, as if I did a good play in the game, I would get hyped and amped. I would amp up my team to continue and make more good plays, which is an overall good effect. Hope you enjoyed my 2.2 biomechanics video analysing a skill on volleyball by Kees Ursem.